Moving a little bit, changing the conversation a little bit, let's talk about, this is going to be a tight game, at least in my opinion, this is going to be a tight game. With both defenses being as hot as they have it late, how much does the kicking team have to do with this game? The punting, the field goal teams, who has the edge here? How much of a factor do you think that they're going to be?
Kicking game, obviously, what looks on paper like it's going to be a close game. You know, your 3-point or less game. Obviously, field position in a tight defensive game. You know, 5 yards extra on each punt is a big difference through the course of the game. Again, you're talking about two teams that are fairly evenly matched. The kickers are fairly evenly matched. Maybe a little bit of edge, I think, when the punter might go to actually Green Bay in this case. But you know, you know, these small things may be a big factor in a game like this.
Yeah, I have to agree with Rich, and as a matter of fact, I hate to say this, but I have to give the kicking game edge to Green Bay, and the reason being, I mean, the Steelers are working with patchwork kickers this year. Their punter, Sepulveda, he got injured early, they had to replace him. Jeff Reed, they cut him for performance problems, and they had to fill his spot with Swisham. Neither one of these guys have ever been tested, played in a high pressure game. So I would have to give the edge to Green Bay. They're a little bit more stable at that position.
Josh?
Well, I think both kickers have experience to go through because Mason Crosby, if he was on your fantasy team, got injured for a few weeks, and he's going to come back. I mean, it's a great time for him to come back, but then again, Sean Sweezum, great pickup. Is he going to go through? Is he going to pull through? I mean, both kickers have some things to put aside, and that's what's going to be the big factor in this game.
Josh, what do you think of the returners for each team? You think there's an edge there for either team, or is it pretty fairly even?
I think there's going to be a lot of stops behind the 20 because both their special teams good at stopping.
Yeah. So what effect will not having Marquise Pouncey have on the Steelers? And is there any chance that he plays?
I know.
I got to take this one.
Ron?
How much time do we have?
As much as you'd like.
This is the key to the game. This is the key to the entire Super Bowl. Okay. Pouncey's not playing. He's not going to play. He says he's going to play, but of course he says he's going to play. He's a rookie. He's Pro Bowl center. He is probably the answer the Steelers have been looking for at center ever since Jeff Harding's retired. They have a big legacy at that position. They have a lot of faith in Pouncey. He did a bang-up job this year. Now, whether he plays or not, I say I don't think he's going to play. Very doubtful. The problem is you're dealing with a backup center, Legursky. Now, we saw the problems that caused against the Jets in the championship game. There, I think there were 2 fumbled snaps. One nearly cost the Steelers. It ended in a safety, but it could very easily have been a touchdown for the Jets, which would have changed the outlook of the game. You know how important that position is. Now, on the other side, so you have Legursky going up against a very athletic center in B.J. Raji. Okay. Now, what this guy was doing against the Bears, in coverage, and had that interception and ran that back for a touchdown. I don't know what he was doing in that part of the field, but that's the kind of athlete that you're dealing with. A 300-plus pound guy who can drop back into a passing play and make an interception. Now, he's very physical. The Steelers are going to have to be able to handle that. Legursky, I don't know. I don't know how that's going to play out, but that is the key to this game. And if they can successfully manage without Pouncey and keep that offensive line, get a running game going, give Ben some time, I think the Steelers might pull that out.
Cowboy Stadium is going to be loud. They're going to have the roof closed most likely. It's going to be loud, and they're trying to call out the signals for the lines. There's definitely room for error there. Somebody's only playing, basically getting the first start of the season, if I'm not really correct. So that's a tough place to play when it's loud. So it could have an effect on the coverage and obviously pass protection stuff.
Josh?
Well, Clay Matthews, I mean, he's going to be blitzing a lot. He's one of the best blitzers in the NFL. And they might do some trick screens in there or flicks like you saw Rashard Mendenhall last game. They're going to be doing that a lot, but Marquise Pouncey is going to be the big factor because if he comes, there's going to be a lot of blocking and opening holes. But if not, then like the backup center, I don't even know what his name is. He's gonna close up. I mean, B.J. Raji. I mean, look at that interception he had, and that dance and the touchdown. Oh. And so what I was saying is, I mean, they're gonna be using a lot of screens or just a lot of inside. Rashard Mendenhall, Meweldy Moore, who he likes, Isaac Redman.
I love Isaac Redman.
I mean, they're gonna be using them a lot in the goal line, and I think Marquise Pouncey is gonna be the reason from a touchdown, a field goal, or even a missed field goal. By the way the crowd's going. Are they going loud? Can they do an audible on 4th and 1? They do a hurry-up offense at the end of the game. It's going to be a key effect.
So here we go, guys. Cards on the table, or terrible towels in some cases. What are your predictions, and what will be the difference maker? Let's start with predictions. Josh?
All right, I say Steelers win this 24-21 by a missed field goal at the end of the game.
So the difference maker will be a missed field goal.
Yeah, by Mason Crosby, who has been battling that injury. And the crowd is going to be loud, as he said.
So, Ron, now everybody needs to know how superstitious Ron is. Ron, can you give us a prediction on this game? By the way, this guy wears number 13 on his softball uniform, but yet he's superstitious about his Steelers.
I will not give a prediction on the game.
Okay.
But you know where I stand.
There we go. And Ron, what do you think the difference maker? What do you think?
Well, as I had said before, the key to that game is the offensive line and specifically at the center position and how they can match up.
Rich?
Well, I'd say a shout out to my family and friends in Pittsburgh. I know they're going crazy this week, getting ready for this game. I know they're real excited about winning the Super Bowl in Dallas, just to make my life more uncomfortable than it already is. Anyway, keys to this game, obviously Pouncey is a big issue. To me, I still look at Polamalu as being the guy who's going to make a make or break play at the right time. You know, a third down and short, some play like that, tip pass late in the game that come up with a big play. Interception, forced fumble. He's the guy that I see in the Steelers is giving them a little bit of an edge. Getting a close game, injuries will play a part. Somebody gets nicked early in the game. That's going to be a big problem. Aaron Rodgers, first Super Bowl, got my collar open. I wonder how tight his collar is going to be after that first thing. He's been pretty calm so far, but this is the big stage, and we'll see if he's going to make that next tier quarterback that we talked about. Is he an elite quarterback as we've talked about in the past? Good question. To me, again, I'm looking at the Steelers. I like the experience. I like Polamalu if he's 85-90%. The Packers going to have their hands full. I think the Steelers, I think it may be a full touchdown. I think they open it up, maybe a 28-21 game. I don't think this is going to be a low-scoring game as a lot of people predict. I think, some of these teams, they can put up 30 points. They may start out a little slow, but I think about midway through the second quarter, watch the balls fly. So.
Well, we've got 3 for the Steelers. I'm actually going to go against you guys, and I really agree with your point that experience is going to play a part here, and I think that is the Steelers' biggest asset. But I think you guys said best. Not having Pouncey is going to be an effect on this team. What kind of effort do they get out of Polamalu? Is he really ready to go? Is he not? But the biggest thing, and I think you all admitted to it, the Green Bay Packers have a little bit better field goal team. And I think when it all comes down to it at the end, this is going to be a very, very close game. And I see the Packers coming in by a field goal at the end and winning this thing and upsetting the football world. Thanks for joining us for the MTR Sports Report. Again, these are our guests, Richard Price from thecowboyscorner.com, Ron Solpese from MySteelCurtain.com, and our football prodigy, Josh. Bill Zeltman, I've been your host. Join us next time for the MTR Sports Report.
Peace.